high blood pressure is one of the biggest risk factors for cardiovascular disease, for heart attack and stroke. So for heart attack, stroke, high cholesterol, high blood pressure, what is the most crucial supplement? High dose omega-3s, which is why it's not only safe, it's required. If you take a fish oil that is of low quality, even if you take the right amount, you can have a lot of heartburn symptoms or burps, and it doesn't lower or change your lab values or help you feel better. So to me, that's expensive. What's number 2 most important supplement in any autoimmune disease? I'm going to tell you. It's going to be fish oil. And that isn't even a controversial topic. That is a given, but there is so much emerging data on quality omegas in autoimmune disease over the last 3 years that it's blowing up. I mean, the research on quality omegas in autoimmune disease is incredibly good, to the point where I would say 4 years ago in the program, we didn't have content saying you got to have omega-3s at this level, or you got to have you got to take this much omega-3. And what I have found is, with all the latest research, is that there is a dose of omegas that is crucial for people with autoimmunity. And that dose is 3,000 to 4,000 IUs a day. And you say, oh, that's a lot. Well, yeah, it is. Which is why I'm telling you, this is what the research has shown with autoimmunity, and it is a lot. And that's why, for me, choosing the proper fish oil, especially when you're taking that much, is crucial. Because I'm going to tell you something, and I might get a little bit of heat for this, maybe not, from the conventional community, maybe from Costco, but most fish oil sucks. And most fish oil, you sure as hell don't want to take 3,000 to 4,000 IUs of it, because you're going to be burping up fishy breath the whole time. And it's not going to work. If you take a fish oil that is of low quality, even if you take the right amount, you can have a lot of heartburn symptoms or burps, and it doesn't lower or change your lab values or help you feel better. So to me, that's expensive. Even if it's a cheaper price, if it doesn't get you the outcome, plus it has a ton of side effects, then it's actually worthless. And it's actually very expensive because you spent the money and it didn't work. So one place where I'm going to tell you that it's really worthwhile to invest your dollars in supplementation is in a quality fish oil. And I'm going to go through what quality means, okay? When you're looking at fish oil, a couple things, okay? Number one is that you want a fish oil that is from a company that actually gets fish from cold water, and the kinds of fish that you're looking for is not the big fish. You really want small fish. Big fish really concentrate toxins, metals, pesticides. So you want the source of these fish to be like anchovy, okay, sardines. Those are the tiny little fish, anchovies, sardines, and mackerel. Those are small fish, short lifespan, very high fat, okay, from clean waters. And you also want these batches of fish oil to be tested in small batches to make sure that each batch really doesn't contain any of these pesticides, toxins, metals that we're talking about. If you have something that's totally diluted, like you're testing once a month or once a year on something, you're going to miss a lot. So for me, quality fish oil is really important from cold water sources. Containing those kinds of fish sources is really important. Thirdly, if you're taking a fish oil right now, how many of you are taking a fish oil right now or have stopped taking fish oil because you've been burping fish? If you're burping up the fish, it means that fish oil is rancid. Rancid means spoiled, no good, bad, okay? To my experience, 90-95% of fish oil out there is rancid, isn't from the clean water sources I'm talking about, and the batch testing is horrendously bad, which is why you don't get results in outcome. So if you're going to take 3,000 to 4,000, I'm going to tell you that Pro Omega 1000, which is the fish oil we have in our program, is the one I go to. We've been using this, for a long time. And I'm going to tell you, just quick screen grab here. You can go search for the criteria I'm talking about with fish oil, or you can take a curated product that, basically my last 24 years of experience, I've done all the legwork and I figured this out. And there are specific reasons for it. So what do you look for? And on the label, I already told you that clearly labeled on our Pro Omega 1000, it is from cold water fish. It is from those 3 fish sources. It is small batch. And then a couple other things too to take a look at is that there's EPA and there's DHA. I love a product that's really high in EPA yet still contains DHA. DHA aspect of it is really great for brain. And how many times in autoimmunity is brain symptoms part of the target? People say I have brain fog. People say I have ADHD and focus problem. People say I have sleep problems. That DHA component is going to be really important. But the omega-3 component has, to me, at least 70% of it should be like the omega-3 component. And there's many mechanisms that omega-3 really decreases. It's an anti-inflammatory, activates all these different inflammatory pathways without having side effects of like taking Advil or naproxen, those NSAIDs. You really activate the beneficial parts of the anti-inflammatory cascade using fish oil, quality one at high dose. And here's a way to really easily dose it, because each capsule here is 1,000. So if you want 3,000 to 4,000, I assume everybody in my program is going to be eating an adequate amount of omegas from either, nuts and seeds or fish or seafood, and that they're going to be getting about 1,000 from their diet. So I tell people in my program to take 3,000 a day, which is just 3. So I would recommend 1 in the morning and 2 at night. I love doing the 2 at night because that 2 at night is really helpful because you're getting some healthy fat at night. And that's part of the blood sugar balancing that we talk about in our program. The other thing too is that in our fish oil, I put a little bit of rosemary extract in there, which I love because it actually helps your liver. It helps activate your liver to help digest, absorb properly, help your liver handle some of this fat. Rosemary extract is a great little bit of a liver stimulator to help in the uptake and utilization of some of the fish oil. So I love that. So that's some of the things to look for. And that is my take on why taking Pro Omega 1000, a quality fish oil, is really important. But you got to get to the right dose. And please take at least 3,000 a day, which is 3 capsules a day of this one. And make sure you go through all the components and criteria that I talk about.
Diana said, can you take that much if you're on blood pressure medicine?
Absolutely. And here's the other thing is, if you're on blood pressure medication, it's because you have cardiovascular disease. High blood pressure is one of the biggest risk factors for cardiovascular disease, for heart attack and stroke. So for heart attack, stroke, high cholesterol, high blood pressure, what is the most crucial supplement? High dose omega-3s, which is why it's not only safe, it's required. And I don't know why people are prescribing all these medications, even blood pressure medications and cholesterol medications, tons of side effects. And yet we're not educating doctors or the community here on how crucial it is to pick a quality fish oil. When you take a quality fish oil with cardiovascular disease, high blood pressure, cholesterol problems, it's like literally pennies on the dollar of an investment of actually really decreasing cardiovascular risk. So yeah, not only is it safe, it's crucial and required.
Deborah wants to know, do medications like Methotrexate and Humera block or decrease the effectiveness and absorption of the supplements like fish oil and vitamin D?
That's a really great question, and I love it, which is that many medications jack up supplements. Not necessarily jack up supplements, but makes their requirement even more sometimes. And the reason is that they a lot of these supplement medications are processed through liver, and one of the problems is that, and which is why for me a lot of our supplements have herbs in it to help the liver work harder in some ways, because the medications are actually occupying your liver. Your liver is working really hard to activate and detoxify some of the breakdown products of these medications, and as a result of it, it can actually affect some of the effectiveness of other medications or even supplements. Okay. So there's a huge liver issue with many medications, which is why I'm telling you guys that when I do Pro Omega 1000, I add the rosemary extract in there to actually help activate your liver, to actually help process and absorb the fish oil. Many of my supplements that I choose, I pretty much assume, being, working with the autoimmune community, that there's a lot of issues with liver processing of many of these supplements, which is why I took pains to really find supplements that work really well for the autoimmune population, many of which people are on medications or have an autoimmune process that's going on that's decreasing the function of their liver. So this is why, for me, I've done the legwork. This is why I include the rosemary extract in the fish oil. There's a reason behind what I'm doing here that makes these products incredibly unique and specific for people with autoimmunity. Again, anybody who's age 10 and up in the Northern Hemisphere needs 5,000 IUs of the vitamin D. Anybody with autoimmunity and cardiovascular disease, you should be on omegas of at least 3,000 I use a day. So that's 3 of our 1,000. All right. Marinetta says, I take your ProMeg 1000. No burping. Hell no to the burp. Hell to the no on the burp. I love it. Okay, I love that. Becca asks, will fish oil help balance my blood sugar? Eating fat will balance your blood sugar. Okay, you can't just say, I'm going to take 20 fish oils throughout the day to balance my blood sugar. You got to do it with food. You can have supplementation that helps. And definitely taking the 2 Pro Omega 1000 at night is helpful because it does provide all the benefits of anti-inflammatory while you're sleeping. And Pro Omega 1000 also helps with sleep, just so you know, because fish oil is actually a great component. It's one of the source material with which your body's going to make a lot of hormones, actually. So a lot of these hormones are being made while you sleep, and they're helpful for brain fog, for energy, for helping you continue to sleep. So for me, I love taking the Pro Omega 1002 at night. It is a helpful adjunct to sleep. If you haven't joined our Facebook group, make sure you join our Facebook group, Transform Autoimmune Disease Naturally. When you join the group, our team is actively chatting with everyone in the group and putting resources in their messages. So if all of you are in the Facebook group and you have Facebook Messenger, check your message requests, because chances are we've messaged you and given you a resource. You just didn't know it's there. Anybody thinking like, I want to decide which program I need to go into, you can book a chat with our team. We'll help you figure that out. The other thing too is you can message a member of our team. On our Facebook pages, you have an option to message us and ask us. We have a chat on our website, drmaggie.com. If you go to the chat little window, you can type in what program would be best for me, and we can have a team member assist you with deciding which program would be best for you. We do have multiple programs.